Good afternoon, fans, and welcome to Augie Schmidt Field for today's game between the Lawrence University Vikings and the Carthage College Firebirds. Let's meet today's starting lineups. First, for the visiting Vikings, leading off and playing shortstop, number 3, Tate Hardlab. Batting second and playing left field, number 27, Sage BB Jenny. Batting third and playing second base, number 13, Taylor Freeman. Batting fourth and playing first base, number 36, C.J. Filipek. Batting fifth and playing right field, number 12, Eden Perez. Batting sixth and playing center field, number 5, Shane Santega. Batting seventh and playing catcher, number 38, William Sikowski. Batting eighth in the DH, number 7, Nolan Zarowski. Batting ninth and playing third base, number 8, Nathan Depew. The starting pitcher for Lawrence is number 15, Julius Christensen. The head coach for Lawrence is Trent Whitcomb. He is assisted by Tom Wilson and Chase Kirsten. And now, the starting lineup for your Carthage College Firebirds. Leading off and playing shortstop, number 31, Colin Callahan. Batting second, the DH, number 19, Max Cairo. Batting third and playing first base, number 28, P.J. Moser. Batting fourth and playing right field, number 37, Xander Tubbs. Batting fifth and playing third base, number 12, Matt Felber. Batting sixth and playing catcher, number 23, Christian Duarte. Batting seventh and playing left field, number 7, Drew Connect. Batting eighth and playing second base, number 4, Evan Devine. Batting ninth and playing center field, number 1, Jimmy Herget. The starting pitcher for the Firebirds is number 13, Wyatt Midori. The head coach for Carthage is Augie Schmidt. He is assisted by John LeQuay, John Hasser, Joe Stevens, and Keith Kutzler. Fans, at this time we ask that you please rise and remove your caps as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem.
A 64-degree, partly cloudy day sets the scene for today's Carthage baseball broadcast between the Carthage Firebirds and the Lawrence University Vikings. I am Andrew Czysz Jr., pleased to be joining you all for today's broadcast live on the Carthage Athletics YouTube channel. And we've got a good one for you today. Carthage Firebirds coming in 23-8. Overall, 10-3 CCIW. That's the non-conference matchup against Lawrence University Vikings, as Lawrence University is in the Midwest Conference, which Ripon was in. So currently Lawrence is third place in their conference. Carthage still leading, number 1 over Illinois Wesleyan. They are 12-4, however, this goes by winning percentage in that record, so that's why Carthage is still number 1 with that 10-3 record. However, Carthage will play Augustana in a weekend 3-game series. That'll be very important for Carthage to keep that percentage up, as after the Augustana series, they go and play Illinois Wesleyan, to wrap up their regular season for spring 2025. So this one is more of a potential confidence booster for Carthage moving into the weekend and next week as they play Augustana and then Illinois Wesleyan. As far as Lawrence University, they come off of a big win against Ripon, a conference rival, in game 1 of the doubleheader. The second one, it said on Lawrence's schedule that it got postponed, but Ripon had a lead in that one. But we'll just focus on the game 1 since that one went final officially. Lawrence won that game 5-4. But we will talk about the lineups first for Carthage's defensive lineup. So in the pitcher's spot will be Wyatt Midori, number 13. Catching will be Christian Duarte. In the infield, we have P.J. Moser at first base, Evan Devine at second, Felber at third, and then playing in the shortstop spot would be Colin Callahan. In the outfield for Carthage today, Drew Connect in left field, Jimmy Herget in center field, and Xander Tubbs in right field. I'll have the graphics for you today for the defensive and batting order, but I got you guys covered. So we'll talk about the batting order real quick for Lawrence. First up for them is number 3, Tate Harlab, followed by number 27, Sage BB Jenny. After that, in the third spot, Taylor Freeman. Number 36, CJ Filipek, following suit. Number 12, Eden Perez. Number 5, Shane Santega. Number 38, William Zakowski. Number 7, Nolan Zarowski. And number 8, Nathan Depew. Pitching later on for Lawrence will be number 15, Julius Christensen. However, Lawrence will be starting on a bat first, and number 3, Tate Harlub, will be up to bat to kick us off in this non-conference NCAA Division III matchup between Carthage and Lawrence. And in the history of this series, Carthage 0-2 against Lawrence since 2023. First pitch for Midori, outside of the strike zone. So it'll be ball 1. For Hartlub on the season, a batting average of .406. He has now started in 26 games for the Vikings. Has to extend his body to try and hit the ball was Hartlab. Over it is ball 2. So 2 balls and no strikes. Lawrence did take on Ripon yesterday, part of a doubleheader. However, the second game was postponed. The first one went through. That one's in for strike 1 for Midori as Lawrence defeated Ripon 5-4, and it was a contested game 4-4 heading into the bottom of the 9th. And the winning play came from CJ Filipek on a walk-off RBI to defeat Ripon. It was a left field single liner. Hartlab almost lining that one up as I say that. That one's fouled off, though. It'll be 2 ball and 2 strike. And speaking of Tate Hartlab, he was the one that was able to score the winning run for the Vikings against Ripon. As a result of that RBI in the left field from CJ Filipek. That ball's fouled off. Last time we saw Wyatt Midori on the broadcast, it was against Elmhurst on April 16th, so last Wednesday. Carthage won that game 10-6 to sweep Elmhurst, which was the 3rd CCIW team they swept in the month of April. And in that game, Wyatt Midori earned his 4th win. It's 4-0 on the season heading into today. It's a full count between Hartlab and Midori. Midori, full count pitch. Slight swing, however, it is fouled off, so it still remains that full count. And Midori against Elmhurst pitched 5 innings. He allowed 3 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned. He's walked 2 batters and struck out 9 of them, which stands out on the stat sheet for sure. So Midori's been on a little bit of a hot streak. That one is that fair? No. Thought maybe it was fair for a second, however, it just leaked beyond fair territory. So it still remains a full count, as Midori's got to pitch a few more times than he would have liked against Heart Lab. It is a full count. Midori, full count pitch. Swing by Heart Lab, deep drive into center field. Jimmy Herget makes the adjustment for Carthage. Don't really see him out there in that center field spot too much. You know, it's usually Chucky Smith and Drew Connect, but Jimmy Herget getting the start at center field and showing out so far for the Firebirds. So that's 1 out on the board in the top of the first. And it brings up number 27, Sage BB Jenny. Midori delivers strike 1. For BB Jenny on the season, a batting average of 200. He's now started in 23 games. He's got 17 runs off 15 hits. He's been at bat 75 times heading into this one. He's hit 8 doubles, which is tied for second most on the team behind Shane Santaga. Midori's pitch just a bit above where the sweet spot was. 2 balls and 1 strike. Midori down the middle, in for strike 2. Looking to strike out his first batter today. And for Midori on the season, an ERA of 5.19. Before this game, 34 2/3 innings pitched. Out pitch gets fouled off by BB Jenny. 32 2/3 innings pitched for Midori on the season. He's allowed 31 hits, 24 runs, 20 of them earned. He's walked 15 batters, but he has 35 strikeouts. 9 of them came against Elmhurst. As stated previously, that was last Wednesday. Duarte loses that one. Lucky, no base runners around there, or else it would have been, a disastrous wild pitch. So full count once again. Heart Lab and Midori had a full count, but Herget was able to get the put out. And that'll be a walk for BB Jenny as he beats the count.
Taylor Freeman.
That'll be BB Jenny's 10th walk on the season, as it brings on number 13, Taylor Freeman, who leads Lawrence in a ton of categories, including batting average with a 4.48. So definitely the residential slugger for the Vikings. And this is one of the guys that you got to look out for. And even then, a guy like CJ Filipek as well, who leads the team with 28 RBIs. And like we said on the top of the broadcast, Lawrence beat Ripon yesterday, 5-4. And CJ Filipek got a walk-off RBI for the team. Freeman checking a swing. That'll be ball 2. Taylor Freeman, the senior out of Missouri City, Texas, Houston Christian High School graduate. He's got 33 runs off 43 hits. That one's launched high and into left field. That'll be another put out for the Firebirds. This time, Drew Connect coming over from his left field spot to make the catch. So 2 putouts, one by Jimmy Herget in center field against Heart Lab, and Drew Connect against Taylor Freeman. You've got BB Jenny over at first, trying to get a lead on towards second. What a hit. That one over the wall, and it's over the wall. My goodness. Didn't even get to say his name, number 36, CJ Filipek. A 2-run home run for Lawrence. And yeah, CJ Filipek definitely going to be a problem, and he's already showing it so far in this one. 2 runs on the board for Lawrence as CJ Filipek launching that one before I could even properly introduce him on the broadcast. What a way to make an introduction look flashy. As it brings on number 12, Eden Perez, the senior out of Montano, Illinois. Dory's pitch down the middle, swing and a miss. That'll bring up strike 2 against Perez. Perez on the season, a batting average of .269. He's now started in 29 games for the Vikings. He's tied for first with doubles as he is struck out. And that'll be the end of the top of the first. Wyatt Midori striking out Eden Perez as Carthage gets ready to go for the bottom of the first. And on the due-up will be Colin Callahan, Max Cairo, and PJ Moser. Lawrence leading 2-0 after that 2-run homer by CJ Filipek. Filipek led the team heading in with 28 RBIs. Well, make it 30 at this point. As number 15, Julius Christensen. The freshman out of Camas, Washington. On the season for Christensen, ERA of 3.0. Innings pitched, only 3. And in those 3 innings, he's allowed 3 hits, 1 run. He's walked 1 batter, and he struck out 2. So not that much playing time for Christensen. However, he'll get some more reps today. It's a high-powered Carthage Firebirds offensive front. That's going to be spearheaded by Colin Callahan, Max Cairo, and PJ Moser to kick things off.
Leading off for the Firebirds, shortstop number 31, Colin Callahan.
Colin Callahan has been amazing in so many games this season, regardless if it's on the road or if it's here at Augie Schmidt Field. The senior out of Lake Zurich, Illinois, has definitely put smiles on a lot of people's faces, including myself. He's got a batting average of .386 on the season. He's making his 32nd start. Leads the team and runs with 40, hits with 49. That one's grabbed, and that'll be an easy put out for the Vikings to get things kicked off. As Nathan Depew and CJ Filipek connect for the early putout of Colin Callahan, as trying to get it past Depew, but he was able to snag it right away off the ground. It brings on Max Cairo, the senior out of Highland Park, Illinois, Highland Park High School graduate. And Cairo leads the team in home runs with 8. As the count goes 2 balls and no strikes in the bottom of the first. Christensen down the middle, and that one's fouled off by Max Cairo. 2 balls and 1 strike. Cairo on the season, Batting average of .345, making his 29th start. One's just outside the strike zone for Christensen, so it's 3 balls and 1 strike. Christensen down the middle. Will be fouled off by Cairo. So we'll have a full count between Julius Christensen and Max Cairo. Cairo will get the walk. His 16th of the season. There's your first base runner for Carthage today, as number 28, PJ Moser, comes up to bat. Yet another Illinois native for Carthage up to bat. Christensen dials it up. Strike 1 to open the count between himself and PJ Moser. Moser on the season, a batting average of .303, making his 31st start. He leads the team in doubles with 11. It's 1 out, 4, and 2. Wow, my goodness. And a double play for the Vikings. And that puts a seal on the first inning already. Fast and flashy for Lawrence, as Moser drove it into the right infield. However, it was picked up. It was grounded into a double play as Cairo was out, and then CJ Philippik sure that PJ Moser was out as well. So that's all she wrote for the first, as Lawrence has 2 runs, 1 hit, no errors, and Carthage not able to get a run nor a hit on the board in the bottom of the first. Only a walk from Max Cairo. As Wyatt Midori goes back to work for the Firebirds. In the game against Elmhurst last Wednesday, Midori had 93 pitches thrown throughout those 5 innings. And again, he struck out 9 batters. So far, he's got 1 strikeout on the day. We'll see if that number continues to increase. In addition to the win against Parkside at historic Simmons Field, where the Kingfish play for Carthage, they got that 6-3 win against Parkside. But before that, they took a road trip on April 18th to Millikan University for a doubleheader. Millikan took game 1 7-4, while Carthage responded back in dominant fashion, taking game 2 7-zip. And some notable performances from game 2 specifically include Ryan Scanlon, who had 7 innings pitched. He threw over 100 pitches, allowed 5 hits, no runs, walked 2 batters, and he got 8 strikeouts. So a solid day for Scanlon against Millikan in the game 2. As we get things reset for the top of the second, number 5, Shane Santega comes up to bat for the Vikings. Santega on the season, a .269 batting average. 29th start on the season. The count is 2 balls and no strikes. Santega has got 19 runs off 28 hits. He's hit 8 doubles as well. Midori puts it in for strike 1. So both teams have been excellent on the defensive front to kick this game off. Midori lasers it in for strike 2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss, and that'll be another strikeout for Midori, second
Now batting for
of the
Vikings,
contest.
catcher number 38, William Zakowski.
And the catcher for Lawrence, number 38, William Zakowski, is up to bat. The junior out of Clarksville, Maryland, River Hill High School graduate. Midori gets the swing and a miss for strike number 1. Midori down the middle, however, Duarte had to extend his arm upwards to make sure he got the ball. One ball and one strike. Here comes the pitch. Wyatt Midori. That one fouled off by Zakowski. Zakowski on the season, a batting average of .177. He's making his 21st appearance in the batter's box. More specifically, the left-hander's batter box. He's got 5 runs off 11 hits, 1 double, 3 RBI, 12 total bases. Trying to line that one up. Callahan snags that one, throws it over to Moser. And a 6-3 put out from the Firebirds.
Now batting for the Vikings,
2 outs on the board.
DH,
And
number 7,
outside of that home run by C.J. Filippic, not a whole lot of successful hitting for both sides. Just great fielding job by both teams. Swing and a miss as number 7, Nolan Zarowski, is up to bat. Zarowski making a 7th start today. 5 runs off 5 hits. He's only had 20 at-bats before this game. 1 ball and 1 strike. Midori looking to end another top half of an inning. Quickly, that one's driven into center field, and that will be a base hit for Zarowski.
Now batting for the Vikings, third baseman number 8, Nathan Depew.
Zarowski gets on base as number 8, Nathan Depew, comes up to bat. The sophomore out of Newport, Michigan. Depew on the season, making his 13th start today, a batting average of .250. Down the middle, in for strike 1 for Wyatt Midori. Freshman pitcher for Carthage, looking to develop his skill set even more down the stretch. Swing and a miss from Depew. Brings up strike 2. Zarowski over at first. TJ Moser keeping a close eye, as well as Midori. 0-2 is the counter. Comes the pitch. Strike 3, and Midori gets his 3rd of the game. That'll end the top of the 2nd, as Lawrence does not put up a run. They do get a hit, though. That was made by Zarowski. Beautiful liner in the center field for a base hit. However, Carthage forcing 3 outs before Lawrence could establish anything more offensively. On the due-up for the Firebirds will be Xander Tubbs, Matt Felber, and Christian Duarte. As we don't have our usual score bug up, so might be hard visually for you guys to keep track of what inning we're in, top or bottom, but do my best to fill it in for you guys myself. as we are going to enter the bottom of the second. As the number on the bottom left of the scoreboard indicates what inning we're in. Obviously, the count is in the middle, and the outs are on the right side. But Lawrence leading 2-0 in this one. Carthage looking to respond to C.J. Philippik's 2-run home run in the top of the first. As Philippik scored himself, as well as Sage VB Jenny. Now enter the bottom of the seconds with Xander Tubbs, number 37. The junior out of Plainfield South High School. Tubbs has been an incredible asset for the Firebirds, both offensively and in that right field spot. Julius Christensen down the middle. That one got away from him. Probably wants to have that one back. 2 balls and no strikes. That's the count. Xander Tubbs. Pop fly near right field. That'll be a put out. A catch made by number 13, Taylor Freeman. Number 12, Matt Felber coming up to bat. And in the top of the ninth against Parkside yesterday. Up Carthage. Oh, that one's over Christensen. Over Freeman making the adjustments and the put out by C.J. Philippik. And Lawrence's infield is very dangerous. They have an elite sense of awareness. Freeman was all gas, no brakes. Put an extra pep in his step. Christian Duarte, though, fantastic response. Gets a base hit, a single into right field. A lot of fast action in the infield of Lawrence, and Christian Duarte just said, let me add on to that. Let me get a single into right field. Number 7, Drew Connect, up to bat, leads the team in batting average with .389. 28th start on the season. Swing and a miss there from Connect. He's got a moment to regather himself. Drew Connect, 95 at-bats for this game. 21 runs off 37 hits. 4 home runs, 23 RBI. Slugging percentage of .516, which is 4th most on the team. 1 ball and 1 strike for Julius Christensen. Christensen has not struck out a batter yet. On the season, Christensen has 2 strikeouts. As before this, he only pitched 3 total innings throughout the season. Drew Connects looking to do something big here. Duarte trying to steal second. That was a bad decision as Lawrence tags him out. That'll end the second inning.
The score at the end of the second inning is Lawrence 2 and Carthage nothing.
Through 2, Lawrence up 2-0. Thanks to that C.J. Philippik 2-run homer in the top of the first.
Courtesy of Culver's. or if the Firebirds hit 4 extra base hits, you win a coupon for free cheese curds, courtesy of Culver.
We'll go into the top of the third with
first.
Wyatt Midori at the helm for the Firebirds, as they look to keep things cool in the Lawrence Vikings offensive department. CJ Philippic just came out of nowhere with that home run in the left field. Catapulted Lawrence to have momentum, and the defensive side is definitely picking up on that momentum as well, as the Carthage is finding ways to get some base hits. However, when it's in the infield and there's slow rollers and it stays in the infield, Lawrence Vikings just have the instinctive ability to grab the ball fast and get the putouts. That's something Carthage is going to have to adjust to as we get further down the line in this one, as there's your line so far: 2 runs, 1 hit, no error for Lawrence, and Carthage, no runs, no hits, or errors. Actually, should be 1 hit for Carthage, as Christian Duarte did get that single in the right.
Leading off for the Vikings, shortstop number 3, Tate Hartlab.
And number 3, Tate Hartlab, will come up to bat as we are cycling through the Vikings batting order once more. Last time we saw Tate Hartlab, he had a full count against Wyatt Midori. And on that full count, Hartlab launched the ball deep in the center field. However, Jimmy Herget was able to successfully make the putout for the Firebirds. Hartlab showing bunt. And flustered Duarte a little bit as he was trying to concentrate on getting the ball. Hartlab has hit 5 doubles on the season. Fouls that one off. Be 2 balls and 1 strike. Duarte had to slide outside of the strike zone. It'll be ball 3. Hartlab has a chance to play this one smart, to get a base runner on board for the Vikings. It's in there for strike 2, though. And it's a full count. Same scenario. Tate Hartlab has seen this movie before. For him, he looks to have a different result. For Carthage, they hope it's the same result. As we saw on the top of the first to open up the game's entirety, that one is fouled off to the left side. For Midori so far today, he's thrown around that 40 pitches mark. Struck out 3 batters so far. And that is strike 3 for Wyatt Midori. That'll be his 4th total strikeout of the contest, as Tate Hartlab tried to play that one, but it was just too good to pass up on for strike 3. His first pitch, strike 1. Against Sage BB Jenny. BB Jenny already has 1 walk in this game. That's how he was able to get on base. Oh, that one goes past Midori. Callahan to Moser. Oh, he's safe, though. Oh, I don't think P.J. Moser touched the base. Oh, man, he couldn't get the foot down.
Now batting for the Vikings.
He had to go up high for that one.
Taylor
And just
Freeman.
completely left the base vacated, and BB Jenny slipped in. So that's a base hit, a single for Sage BB Jenny. Freshman out of Portsmouth, New Hampshire. Berwick Academy graduate. Dory on the middle for strike one. And Midori almost had that one. It just went past him on his right side. Callahan with the heads up play there. However, he floated it too high for Moser. He did make the catch, but he wasn't able to touch the base before BB Jenny got there. That's a base hit. BB Jenny goes to second, and Taylor Freeman with the single. And now things are starting to open up for the Vikings. One small mistake is starting to snowball in front of Carthage. And number 36, CJ Philippic, up to bat. Last time we saw Philippic, he recorded his 5th home run, scoring himself and Sage BB Jenny, who's over at second base this time, as opposed to first base. That one goes missing. It's a wild pitch thrown there from Midori as Duarte was not able to catch it. And as a result, Freeman moves to second. And BB Jenny over in the hot corner. Philippic, swing and a miss. One ball and one strike for CJ Philippic. The man responsible for the only 2 runs scored in the contest between both of the teams as a whole. Another swing and a miss from Philippic. Two balls and 2 strikes. It's Freeman and BB Jenny lurking in the distance. Duarte having to slide to his left side. And it's a full count. There's a passed ball that moved Freeman and BB Jenny. Now we're at full count territory here, and that's going to be a walk for CJ Philippic, and bases are now loaded for Lawrence.
Now batting for the Vikings, right fielder number 12, Eden Perez.
Throwing error by Colin Callahan and a passed ball by Christian Duarte has set Carthage up for a tumultuous experience here. Let's see if they can shut this down with a double play. Dory, first pitch in for strike one against Eden Perez. So far for Perez, his only at bat struck out by Midori. That's ruled a foul ball, so 0-2 is the count. With bases loaded. CJ Philippic at first. Taylor Freeman at second, and Sage BB Jenny at third. Eden Perez looking to maybe drive at least one run home here. BB Jenny the closest one to home. Swing and a miss, though, and Perez is struck out for the second time today. That's number 5 for Midori. And he's already halfway there to matching his total against Elmhurst last Wednesday. As it brings on number 5, Shane Santega. With bases still loaded, this would be huge for Carthage to get this third out. Arte mishandles that one. It'll be ball 1. Midori, it's a nice hit from Santega. That is one out. And that's the one out that Carthage needed to end the top of the third. Before Lawrence could score any of those runs, 3 base runners left for the Vikings, and they come away empty-handed. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for Lawrence. In the top portion of the third inning, as Carthage looks to refuel themselves for the bottom of the third and try to get some runs on the board as they came up huge in a great spot. Wyatt Midori up to 5 strikeouts on the day. He's allowed 3 hits and the 2 runs, but that was a homer from CJ Philippic. So far today for Julius Christensen, he's only had to pitch 15 times, but that's because Lawrence's infield has just been amazing. Here's some upcoming broadcasts for the Carthage Athletics YouTube channel. Saturday, April 26th, a baseball doubleheader against Augustana, starting at 12 p.m. 1 p.m. men's lacrosse versus Augustana. 1 p.m. softball versus Milliken. That's a doubleheader. Then Sunday, April 27th, we come back here to settle the 3-game series against Augustana at 12 p.m. And there's a softball doubleheader as they take on Illinois Wesleyan. And Monday, April 28th, will be baseball against Benedictine. That'll be a 3 p.m. matchup. Recently added on to the schedule. But we'll let the audience know that that's also upcoming for the Firebirds, and that'll happen after their 3-game stretch against Augustana. But first, they need to play out this one against Lawrence University. Currently trailing by 2 runs as we begin the bottom of the third. Ball 1 to kick things off, and as I was saying before, is Lawrence's infield presence has been strong, and they've been able to get these putouts left and right, and that's hit by a pitch for Drew Connect. My goodness, that is his 11th on the season. He's been hit by a pitch 11 times. That is 3 more than any other player on the team. Next closest, PJ Moser with 8. And number 4, Evan Devine, up to bat for the Firebirds. Devine on the season, batting average of .290, making his 17th appearance than 31 at-bats, 8 runs off 9 hits. He's got 4 doubles as well. And he goes against Julius Christensen with 1 strike against him. It'll even the count as Drew connects over at first by virtue of being hit by a pitch thrown by Julius Christensen. Evan Devine, base hits. Drew Connect has a chance to go to third, and he'll do it. A nice single into right field for Evan Devine, and it moves Drew Connect 2 bases from first all the way to third. As Eaton Perez had the race from that right fielder spot, hesitated, and Drew Connect took advantage of it. In those situations, that's what you have to do. So brings on number 1, Jimmy Herget, freshman out of McKenna, Illinois. As Lawrence almost tagging out Evan Devine. Carthage doesn't want to get too cute here because Lawrence has the tenacity within them. Herget with a bunt attempt. However, it goes south instead of north. 1 ball and 1 strike. Christensen and Philippik reacting to Evan Devine. Devine trying to get in the head of Julius Christensen here. Evan Devine taking a few steps. Herget showing bunt again. Pulls away though. 2 balls and 1 strike. Christensen loads back up. Herget, bunt attempt again, just can't get it to go. 2 balls and 2 strikes. It's a great intent with the strategy, however, it's just not working to Herget's favor. As the bunt would give Connect the best chance of scoring here. And it brings us to a full count between Julius Christensen and Jimmy Herget. It's a big spot for Carthage here. Big spot for Christensen as well. And that's a walk, and bases are loaded for the Firebirds. And Colin Callahan comes up to bat for Carthage, number 31. Leader in a slew of categories, including runs with 40 and hits 49. And Lawrence will talk things over before this big spot. See if they keep Christensen in there. I would assume so. Maybe they give him a few more reps. Because again, he's only had to throw 26 pitches today. It's almost 3 times as less as Wyatt Midori, who's thrown 61 pitches. And again, that's just to the credit of Lawrence's ability to, establish dominance in the infield. However, Carthage in a bright spot here. Jimmy Herget at first, Evan Devine second, Drew Connect at third. Callahan checking his swing, checking his step as well. 1 ball, no strike. Julius Christensen knows this is a big spot. Most pressure that's been put on him today as Callahan tried to line that one towards left field. However, it's fouled off, so evening the count. Callahan has been shut down once by the Vikings infield. Two balls and 1 strike. Drew Connect trying to get a lead on to home. Callahan checking a swing, however, it's strike 2. Connect on base by virtue of an HBP. And it's a full count once again for Julius Christensen. He just had a full count against Jimmy Herget. Walk would result in an automatic run for the Firebirds. Callahan trying to swing that one. Now go down as 1 out for the Vikings. Drew Connect is out before he can make it to home. Fielder's choice for the Vikings. And a wise one at that to prevent Carthage from getting the run. That throw made by Nathan Depew over to the catcher, William Sikowski. Cairo floats that one up. Again, another out for the Vikings. This time, Evan Devine not able to get to home.
First baseman number 28, P.J. Moser.
A couple reaches on fielder's choices for the Firebirds, at least keep the bases loaded. Max Cairo at first, Callahan at second, and Jimmy Herget at third. However, the bigger story is Lawrence's ability to just prevent the Firebirds from scoring these runs. It's P.J. Moser up to bat, 1 ball, no strikes. Evens the count with that pitch. And what looked like a favorable situation for the Firebirds has turned into one where it's high risk, high reward. Christensen, Moser, that's through for a base hit, and that's 1 run for the Firebirds, and that'll be 2. Jimmy Herget and Colin Callahan. Wow. 2 RBI single for P.J. Moser. My goodness. What a huge spot. And we're tied at 2. So Moser, after that 2 RBI singles at first. Cairo advancing to second. That was exactly what the Firebirds needed. Callahan tried to make sure he jumped over the ball so it didn't stop the momentum. That was a heads-up play. Xander Tubbs up to bat for the Firebirds. Heading into this contest, Xander Tubbs led the team in at-bats with a whopping 127. Swing and a miss there. Bring up the first strike for Julius Christensen. The freshman of Camas, Washington. Tubbs also leading the team and runs batted in with 35. In Carthage's game 2 against Milliken on April 18th, Xander Tubbs had a 3 for 5, 1 run, 2 RBI, and 1 double performance in the team's 7-0 victory. And he gets a walk there, and guess what? Bases are loaded once more for the Firebirds.
Now batting for the Firebirds, third baseman number 12, Matt Felber.
As Matt Felber comes up to bat for the Firebirds. Christensen loading up. Be ball 1 to start for Matt Felber. Felber, oh, tried to line that one up towards the right side. Gets fouled off, though. 1 ball and 1 strike. For the senior, Kenosha Indian Trail High School graduate. Local product looking to come up big for the Firebirds. That's ball 2. As Sikowski had to stand outside of the catcher's box to retrieve that pitch from Christensen. Felber, grounder. That'll be the 3rd out needed by Lawrence to end the bottom of the 3rd. And that's before Carthage could get a 3rd run to take the lead.
And Carthage 2.
There's the tally so far. Lawrence 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors. Carthage 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 error. And PJ Moser's 2 RBI single came up clutch. And that is why we are tied up at 2. We're about to head into the top of the 4th. Wyatt Midori back on the mound for the Firebirds. So far, 3 innings pitched, 61 pitches thrown. He's allowed 3 hits, 2 runs. Both of them came from CJ Philippik's home run that we saw in the top of the 1st. He's walked 2 batters and he struck out 5 of them. As we get set for the top half of the 4th inning.
Catcher number 38, William Zakowski.
Number 38, William Zakowski's up to bat for the Vikings. And the batting department for Zakowski so far, 1 ground out. That strike 1 delivered by Wyatt Midori means serious business. Duarte loses that one. Loses the catcher's helmet as well. ball and 1 strike. As for Lawrence, upon this game's conclusion, they have an important 3-game series against Illinois College. As I said to top the broadcast, Lawrence is 3rd in their Midwest Conference, behind Beloit College and Illinois College. Lawrence has beaten Beloit College twice. That one goes past Midori, and that's through for a base hit. And William Zakowski changing the narrative here as he gets a single. As number 7, Nolan Zarowski, up to bat. On the day force Zarowski. He's got 1 hit. He's 1 for 1. Zakowski over at first base. Near P.J. Moser. Trying to lead on to second. Pop fly. Deep right field. Xander Tubbs there to make the catch. To ensure the fly out is made.
Vikings, third baseman number 8, Nathan Depew.
And Zarowski heads back to the dugout as number 8, Nathan Depew, is up to bat. Sophomore out of Newport, Michigan. Strike 1 delivered from Midori. On the season before this game, 28 at-bats, 6 runs off 7 hits for Depew. Launches that one, but it is fouled. Oh, and 2 is the count. Zakowski still roaming around first, looking to get a lead to second. Swing and a miss. Can they get it? No. They cannot get the tag out on Zakowski.
Now batting for the Vikings, shortstop number 3, Tate Hartlaw.
Evan Devine was expecting the ball to be right in his breadbasket. However, it went over him. As a result, Zakowski getting to second base. That one fouled by Tate Hardlap. So far today for Hartlab, he has suffered a flyout that was in the top of the first, and he was struck out while looking. Devine to Moser for the putout, and that ends the top of the 4th. A 2-2 ball game as we enter the bottom half of the 4th inning. 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors for Lawrence, and 2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error for Carthage. as we enter the bottom half of the fourth inning, Christian Duarte comes up to bat for the Firebirds. Last time we saw Duarte was able to get a base hit into right field. However, he tried
Leading
to
off for the Firebirds, catcher
steal
number
second
23,
base,
Christian Duarte.
and he was caught stealing, and he was out. That occurred in the bottom of the second. One ball, no strikes. Now 2 balls, no strikes. For Duarte on the season, a batting average of .391. Duarte 17 runs off 27 hits. Got 16 RBI as well on the season. Highlighting his individual stat sheet. 3 balls and 1 strike between Julius Christensen and Christian Duarte. Duarte fouls that one off, and we're headed to full count central. On deck for Carthage will be Drew Connect. Duarte trying to line that one. That was very close to the Carthage dugout. It's still full count, 3-2. Christensen, that one gets away from him, and that'll be a walk for Duarte. And now the Vikings will talk things over. It'll be a new pitcher for the Lawrence Vikings as Julius Christensen will be checked out of the game. For number 24, Josh Moosey. The sophomore out of Glenview, Illinois. Glenbrook South High School graduate. And for Josh Moosey on the season, he's pitched only 5 innings total throughout the season. He's allowed 5 hits, 4 runs. He's walked 2 batters and he struck out 5. So the Lawrence Vikings are getting deeper into their depth chart for pitchers. Christensen's day comes to a close. 3 innings pitched, 52 pitches thrown. He allowed 3 hits, 2 runs. Both of them earned. Walked 4 batters, no strikeouts. Against the 15 batters faced today. Josh Moosey will look to add some stability for the Vikings.
Now pitching for the Vikings, number 24, Josh Moosey.
We have a moment, the history between Carthage and Lawrence. Carthage, since 2023, is 0-2 against the Vikings. On May 4th, 2023, game was played here at Augie Schmidt Field. A 17-14 loss was suffered by Carthage. And then April 30th, 2024, the most recent contest was played in Appleton, Wisconsin. It was 7 innings as Lawrence won 19-9. So Carthage looking to get their first win against Lawrence University.
Left fielder number 7, Drew Connect.
And the 2 RBI single that occurred in the bottom of the third definitely sparked things for the Firebirds as Moser was able to score Jimmy Herget and Colin Callahan. It was a bases loaded situation. Moser Drove the ball deep left field. It was a roller as well. Callahan, who was at second base, trying to run towards third and home eventually. Had to jump over the ball to make sure the momentum of it was not stalled, which was a great heads-up play. Here between Connect and Josh Musi. 1 ball, 1 strike. Musi, that one gets far away from him. 2 balls and 1 strike. Josh Musi, the sophomore out of Glenview, Illinois. Drew Connect, the graduate, local product from Bradford High School in Kenosha. Musi's pitch outside again. Three balls and 1 strike. Be a killer for back-to-back walks if you're Lawrence after you just made a pitching change. Connect. Trying to line that foul ball. It's a full count. Josh Musi having to pitch a little bit more than he would ideally like in this situation. However, against a seasoned batter like Drew Connect, you gotta expect to have that happen at some point. Musi, almost hitting Drew Connect, gets a walk anyway though. And back-to-back walks from 2 different pitchers belonging to the Vikings.
Now batting for the Firebirds, second baseman number 4, Evan Devine.
Second baseman number 4, Evan Devine, coming up to bat. 1 for 1 on the day. It's Drew Connect at first and Christian Duarte at second. Devine showing bunt. Drew Connect touches first base before CJ Philippic could get him out. So everybody will reset here. Evan Devine will look to create more opportunities for the Firebirds. Bunt successful. Will he get to first? No, he will not. However, the sacrifice bunt worked out in the end as Duarte got to third. Drew Connect got to second. Beautifully done from Evan Devine.
Now batting for the Firebirds, center fielder number 1, Jimmy Herget.
Up to bat is number 1, Jimmy Herget. Herget so far today has a walk and a run, courtesy of PJ Moser, trusty first baseman. As a dove made its presence felt and actually flew into the Carthage dugout. He wanted to play ball too. Suit him up. Musi's pitch. Low and away from his catcher, William Zakowski. 2 balls and no strikes is the count. Down the middle for strike 1. Two balls and 1 strike. Great hit from Jimmy Herget, base hit. Actually be an RBI single as Christian Duarte gets the run. More importantly, Carthage's first lead of the day.
Now batting for the Firebirds, shortstop number 31, Callahan.
And brings on Colin Callahan. Another batter that got a run courtesy of P.J. Moser when he hit that 2 RBI single in the bottom of the third. And Jimmy Herget, an RBI single. And that scored Duarte. Josh Moosey with some pressure on him. Callahan deep center field. That'll be caught. And that'll be a run for Drew Connect.
Now batting for the Firebirds, the DH number 19.
Carthage now up
Matt
2.
Cairo.
Callahan with the sacrifice fly and RBI to get Drew Connect to home. Jimmy Herget at first. Max Cairo currently batting. Moosey lays it in for strike 1 as the Dove crosses the field once more. Herget trying to steal second. He'll get there. Herget moving on up. Usually we see Jimmy Herget pinch running for another player. However, he did get the start on the batting order today, showing off his speed, showing off those wheels. So it's 2 balls and 1 strike between Cairo and Moosey. 3 balls and 1 strike. Carthage has gained the momentum in this matchup. That's a walk for Max Cairo, and things continue for the Firebirds. This bottom of the 4th inning has been headlined by Jimmy Herget's RBI single to score Christian Duarte, and then Colin Callahan's sacrifice fly RBI to score Drew Connect. That brings on P.J. Moser. As we discussed, 2 RBI single in the bottom of the 3rd. See what damage he can cause here in the bottom of the 4th. Moosey. That's that one go too far out to the right side of where he's throwing. Again, Josh Moosey before this only pitched 5 innings total on the season. 2 balls and 1 strike against P.J. Moser. One of Carthage's other fantastic senior players. Moser checks his swing. It's ball 3. Speaking of seniors, Friday, May 2nd, Carthage will take on Illinois Wesleyan University, 3 p.m. That'll be our senior day. We've got a lot of talented seniors on this roster, so it'll be fantastic to celebrate their contributions to Carthage College. As this is a class with so many amazing players, including P.J. Moser and Colin Callahan. Amongst others, P.J. Moser, deep drive into right center. That's going to be snatched up, though. That'll put a stamp on the bottom of the 4th as the catch was made by number 5, Shane Santega. And through 4, Carthage up 4-2 against Lawrence. Carthage 4 runs, 4 hits, 1 error. Lawrence 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors as we will begin the 5th inning. And for both of these teams, this game only really impacts their overall standing. As again, Lawrence is a part of the Midwest Conference, the same conference that Ripon College is in, and Carthage, we all know, is in the CCIW. And the real test for the Firebirds in CCIW action, well, it'll be this weekend as well as the series against Illinois Wesleyan, because you never know if, a middle-of-the-pack team in your conference is just going to all of a sudden catch you by surprise in 1 or 2 of those games in a 3-game stretch. So Carthage gonna have to keep their heads on a swivel here and make sure their winning percentage is top-notch in order to edge out Illinois Wesleyan and also beat them too. Just get that head-to-head tiebreaker to your advantage. As the season's nearing its end, and these last few games are going to be important for the Firebirds in terms of CCIW action. Up to bat for Lawrence, number 27, Sage BB Jenny. For BB Jenny today, got 1 walk and 1 run courtesy of CJ Philippic in the top of the 1st. All right, Motory's still going strong for the Firebirds. BB Jenny swinging on that one, deep drive into center. That's caught though. Great catch by Jimmy Herget.
Now batting for the Vikings, second baseman number 13.
The sun is trying to peek out over in left field. Brings on number 13, Taylor Freeman, senior out of Missouri City, Texas. Almost gets hit by that pitch from Midori. Midori up to this point has struck out 6 batters of the 20 he's faced. Swing and a miss from Freeman. Freeman, pop fly that's fouled off. Freeman on the season leading Lawrence in batting average, as we said prior. 448, and he is struck out by Wyatt Midori.
Batting for the Vikings, first baseman number 36, CJ Philippic.
Freeman also leading the team in categories such as slugging percentage with 760 and runs with 33. However, it brings on CJ Philippic, the leader in RBI. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Philippic now with 30 RBIs for the Vikings. Most on the team. Second closest is Taylor Freeman with 27. 1 ball and 1 strike. Midori slices it in for strike 2. CJ Philippic has also been hit by a pitch the most times. That being 6. That's another strikeout for Wyatt Midori onto CJ Philippic. And that will end the top of the 5th. Lawrence empty-handed. 2 strikeouts from Midori and a flyout from Jimmy Herget. Go to the bottom of the 5th, where Carthage still has a lead 4-2 in this one. And our next broadcast will be against Augustana for a doubleheader Saturday, April 26th, starting at 12 p.m. It'll be the first time Carthage and Augustana meet in the spring 2025 season.
Leading off for the Firebirds, right fielder number 37, Xander Tubbs.
Xander Tubbs up to bat to kick off the bottom of the 5th for Carthage. In the bottom of the 4th, in case anybody's just tuning in, Jimmy Herget got an RBI single to score Christian Duarte, and Colin Callahan had a sacrifice fly, which was an RBI as Drew Connect was able to score. And that is how Carthage is up 4-2 in this one. Xander Tubbs launching that deep center field. Is that over the wall? Yes, it's gone. Xander Tubbs home run solo. Wow. I thought maybe Lawrence had a shot at that. Santaga was not able to get to it before it went over the wall. Xander Tubbs, a solo home run to extend Carthage's lead by 3. And brings on number 12, Matt Felber. Felber today has been left on base 3 times. And his 2 at-bats before this one, he's suffered 2 groundouts. 2 balls, no strikes here. Make that 3. When these Carthage batters get in the zone, they really get in the zone. 3 balls and 1 strike. Felber fouls that one off. That was a rough one for him. Checking out the calf as that was a rough one. Especially if you go swinging for one of those balls, you miss it, and it hits you right in the calf. You know, those bats definitely hurt your leg for sure. So good to see that he's okay and he's able to continue. And it's a full count between Josh Musi and Matt Felber. Musi with strike 3.
Now batting for the Firebirds, catcher number 23, Christian Duarte.
That is Musi's first strikeout of the day, coming against Matt Felber. And here comes Christian Duarte. One ball, that'll be one strike. 1-1 is the count. Currently in the bottom of the 5th inning. Between Carthage and Lawrence. Another swing and a miss from Duarte. Brings the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. We're trying to get our scoreboard reset on the broadcast. 2 balls and 2 strikes now is the count between Christian Duarte and Josh Musi. Checks his swing. However, not enough as Musi back-to-back strikeouts against Felber and Duarte.
Now batting for the Firebirds, left fielder number 7.
So Musi finding a groove here. Drew Connect, number 7 for the Firebirds. On the day for Connect, 1 run and 1 walk. Musi down the middle, Connect. That one gets lost in transition. Wow. My goodness. Tate Hartlab had that one in his glove and it just squirted out. Leads to a single for Drew Connect. Life comes at you fast.
Now batting for the Firebirds, second baseman number 4.
If you don't stop and
Evan
look around
Devine.
once in a while, you might miss it. There's he down the middle for strike 1. Apologies for the technical issues for our broadcast scoreboard. The count is 0-1 between Musi and Devine. Devine, nice hit. And Lawrence will put an end to the bottom of the 5th. As Connect was not able to get the second in time.
The score at the end of the 5th inning is Carthage 5 and Lawrence 2.
Great play on the fielder's choice from the
As a
Vikings.
reminder, if the Firebirds
As we will
pitchers
enter
select
the
double-digit
6th inning,
strikeouts,
where
you go
Carthage
home with a
leads
free
5-2
coupon for 1 scoop of Culver's ice cream, courtesy of
against
Culver's.
Lawrence.
Or if the
Looking
Firebirds
for
hit 4
their
extra
first
base
win
hits,
against Lawrence as
you win
Carthage,
a coupon for free cheese curds.
which would be their
courtesy of
24th
Culver's.
victory if they were able to
You win
notch it
whichever
today.
happens first.
Carthage in the CCIW department has already gotten more conference wins this year than they had last year. They had 9 last year. They have 10 this year. They're 10-3. Last season, they finished in the middle of the pack in CCIW rankings with a 9-11 or 9-11 CCIW record. Excuse me. Wyatt Midori still going strong for the Firebirds on the mound. He's got 7 strikeouts a day. Definitely showing flashes of brilliance, and he's only a freshman, so Carthage will have him for a little while. There we go. Our scoreboard is back up. Carthage, 5 runs, 6 hits, 1 error. Lawrence, 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors as we are about to enter the 6th inning.
Leading off for the Vikings, right fielder number 12, Eden Perez.
And to start us off in the top of the 6th, Eden Perez. Swing and a miss from Perez. So far today for Eden Perez. 2 strikeouts. Perez launching one deep right field, and Tubbs makes the adjustment. Perez we sent back to the dugout.
Now batting for the Vikings, center fielder number 5, Shane Santega.
And it brings on number 5, Shane Santega. Last time we saw Santega was in the bottom of the 5th. He was playing center field, and Xander Tubbs launched the ball directly into center field, and it was over the wall, and that was a solo homer. Santega could not get there. Also, it was just too much distance for him to cover on the ground. Try and retrieve that. Midori evens the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Strike number 2 for Midori. Showing no signs of slowing down. Santega with a batting average of 269. That one's low and bobbled by Duarte. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Midori, swing and a miss. Santega is struck out. And I believe
Now batting for the Vikings,
that is 9 strikeouts for Midori, so he has matched his total from last week's contest against Elmhurst. He's already pitched 2/3 innings more than he did against Elmhurst. Strike 1 delivered against number 38, William Zakowski. Last time we saw Zakowski got himself a base hit, a single. One ball and 1 strike. That's a pop fly from Zakowski. Jimmy Herget making the adjustment. That'll put an end to the top of the 6th, and once again, Lawrence coming away empty-handed. Carthage sharpened things on the defensive side. And we will enter the bottom of the 6th, with Carthage maintaining a 5-2 lead. Carthage recording 6 hits, 1 error, and Lawrence 4 hits, no errors. Looks like we have a new pitcher for Lawrence, number 16. That will be Ari Smoller Eisenberg. Okay. Palo Alto, California native. He comes in for Josh Musi. And Musi ends the day with 2 innings pitched, 41 pitches thrown, 3 hits allowed, 2 runs allowed, both of them earned. 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, and 11 batters faced.
Now pitching for the Vikings, number 16,
Ari Smoller Eisenberg on the season. Has only pitched 3 innings on the season, allowing 6 hits, 8 runs, walking 3, and only striking out 1 batter. So we'll see what Smoller Eisenberg can do for the Vikings, as it has been all Carthage down the stretch. Carthage got 2 runs in the 3rd, 2 in the 4th, and 1 in the 5th. That was courtesy of Xander Tubbs' solo home run. Felt like they could have got more in the bottom of the 5th. However, they will be satisfied with that Xander Tubbs solo homer to extend their lead. But they're looking for more in this bottom of the 6th. Try and take advantage of Lawrence's inability to get hits. As number 1, Jimmy Herget, up to bat for the Firebirds. For Herget today, he's 1 of 1, 1 RBI, 1 run, 1 walk, 1 stolen base. Herget has been very busy. Coming into this one, he only had 1 start, so today was his 2nd start on the season, and he has made the most of it. Smoller Eisenberg through for strike 1. Oh, and 1 is the count. Smoller Eisenberg. Put that pitch outside, so 1 ball and 1 strike. Almost hitting Herget with that one. In 13 games that Herget played before this one, batting average of .375. So a efficient player when he gets the chance to play in the games. 2 balls and 2 strikes is the count. Herget very efficient with only 8 at-bats, 2 runs off 3 hits, 1 RBI. Smoller Eisenberg. Oh, that one's through for a base hit. Jimmy Herget still going strong. He's fast as lightning. Just be in awe by his hits, and he'll already be at first base. Brings on Colin Callahan, senior out of Lake Zurich, Illinois. As I said previously, Carthage's senior day will be Friday, May 2nd against Illinois Wesleyan here at Augie Schmidt Field, 3 p.m. Celebrate the contributions of all of our seniors. Callahan nearly getting hit by Smoller Eisenberg's pitch. Two balls, no strikes. Callahan lining that one, but it's in foul territory. Back to Jimmy Herget's left field single. In the vicinity was Tate Hartlab. He had a chance to get the ball, however, it looped right past him. Here comes the pitch from Smoller Eisenberg. Swing and a miss from Callahan. Two balls and two strikes. Herget trying to get a lead on to second. That's strike number 3. Callahan struck out for the first time today.
Now batting for the Firebirds, the DH, number 19, Max Cairo.
The designated hitter, number 19, Max Cairo. In the right-hand batter box for Carthage following Callahan's strikeout. Eisenberg delivers strike 1. P.J. Moser on deck for the Firebirds. We cycle through the batting order once more. Herget trying to steal second base. Safe. I'm not sure how the ball got all the way into center field, but Jimmy Herget, if he would have saw that, he could have got to third. Regardless, though, he successfully gets second with more to be desired. 1 ball and 1 strike between Cairo and Smoller Eisenberg. And he hits Cairo. Cairo will make it to first. Takes one in the leg. A little bit gimpy after that one.
For the Firebirds, first baseman number 28, P.J. Moser.
Brings on P.J. Moser, the one who ignited Carthage to tie the game earlier on with a 2 RBI single. That scored Jimmy Herget and Colin Callahan. Back in the bottom of the third. Nice ground ball from Moser. 1 out. And Moser, not ruled safe. Okay, so a double play officially for Lawrence. Carthage trying to appeal this. And he's safe, okay. So the appeal successful as the umpires talked it over, and Moser is safe. Max Cairo, the 1 out. Moser at first, and I believe that is Jimmy Herget at third base. Yes, it is Jimmy Herget at third base. In those situations, only one team is going to be happy about the results. The other team going to be discouraged. Oh, and 1 is the count for Xander Tubbs. Tubbs today, 1 of 2, 1 run, 1 walk. Moser trying to steal second, he will. Plenty of space in front of him. Freeman went up too far to retrieve the ball. Now Carthage threatening here in the bottom of the 6th. Eisenberg. Put it straight, however, it was too high. And Zakowski had to extend upwards. That one gets away, and that's a run for the Firebirds. Scored by Jimmy Herget. Boy, what a game he's been having today. Off of that miscommunication between Smaller Eisenberg and Zakowski, Jimmy Herget scoring on a wild pitch. That one just flew right past Zakowski. And that's not what you want if you're Lawrence, as now Carthage has gained a 4-run lead in the bottom of the 6th. This is where things get dicey because now the pressure increases as these innings go on. Get runs on the board. Swing and a miss, though. And Smaller Eisenberg gets another strikeout. This time Xander Tubbs, and through 6, Carthage leading 6-2 against Lawrence.
The score at the end of the 6th inning is Carthage 6.
Top of the 7th on deck.
2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now pitching for the Firebirds, number 25, James Lindenmuth.
Got a new pitcher for the Firebirds, James Lindenmuth. Number 25 coming in for number 13, Wyatt Midori. And as Midori's day wraps up officially, 6 innings pitched, 93 pitches thrown, allowed 4 hits, 2 runs, and those 2 runs came all the way in the top of the 1st with CJ Felipik's 2-run homer to score himself, and Sage BB Jenny allowing only 2 walks and striking out 9 batters. So a solid day overall for Wyatt Midori. Following up his last start, which was last Wednesday against Elmhurst in a 10-6 victory. On the season for James Lindenmuth, an ERA of 7.71. He's pitched 11 2/3 innings, allowing 14 hits, 11 runs, 10 of them earned, walking 1 and striking out 13.
Leading off for the Vikings, DH number 7. Nolan
Designated
Zarowski.
hitter for the Vikings, up to bat number 7, Nolan Zarowski. Sophomore out of Shorewood, Illinois. Manuka High School graduate. That one's thrown in for strike 1 from Lindenmuth. Again, Lindenmuth on the season, 13 strikeouts within 11 2/3 innings pitched before this very moment. 0-2 is the count against Zarowski. Lindenmuth, not good enough for strike 3. Swing and a miss. Lindenmuth starting out strong. First batter faced, one
Now batting for the
strikeout.
Vikings, third baseman number 8, Nathan Depew.
Brings on the third baseman. Manager of the hot corner for Lawrence today, number 8, Nathan Depew. Depew on the day, 2 at-bats, 2 strikeouts. Swing and a miss. Lindenmuth right on target with that one. Down the middle, that one is trapped by the ground. Comes a 1-1 pitch. Depew hits that one, and that'll be through for a base hit. Jimmy Herget was trying to race his way, track the ball down, however, could not anticipate it well enough to get the fly out, and Nathan Depew gets away with the single to center field. Tate Hardlab up to bat now for Lawrence. Strike one delivered by Lindenmuth. Nathan Depew over at first after that base hit to center. Lindenmuth, oh, I lost it. Oh, no. It's safe. What an unfortunate position for Lindenmuth. He had it in his glove, and then the ball just squirted on out. As a result, Tate Hartlab gets to first off a single, and Nathan Depew moves up to second base. Bunt from BB Jenny, unsuccessful. Again, a sacrifice would move Nathan Depew to third base, most likely. BB Jenny showing bunt once more, backs off though. It'll be 1 ball and 1 strike. BB Jenny showing bunt again. Nathan Depew looking to take off towards third. Hartlab looking to go to second. Comes the 1-1 pitch, a bunt again. BB Jenny's gonna have to pull back. Two balls and 1 strike. BB Jenny trying to get in the head of James Lindenmuth here. Depew looking to get a lead on the third. BB Jenny, the bunt is successful. BB Jenny's out. However, the bunt works to perfection. As it moves.
Now batting for the Vikings, second baseman number 13.
Hartlab over to second, and it moves Nathan Depew to third. So that's exactly what BB Jenny was looking for, and he got it. For Lawrence, they got to make sure they can finish here, as there's 2 outs on the board, so they have to Be cautious. Freeman, center field. That's a base hit. It's an RBI single. Might be an RBI double, and it will be. Or 2 RBI single, excuse me. Two RBI single delivered by Taylor Freeman. CJ Felipic up to bat now for Lawrence, and Lawrence closer in the scoreboard, making it 6-4. Freeman looking to take second. And he's ruled safe. Freeman will steal second. Muth in stance. It'll be ball 1. Lawrence was able to get 2 runs on the board by virtue of a Taylor Freeman single on to center field. For a 2 RBI single, Tate Hartlab and Nathan Depew would both score. Depew was at third and Hartlab was at second. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Evens the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Freeman trying to steal third. He does. Inching his way closer to home. And it's a full count. Full count between CJ Felipic and James Lindenmuth. Bleacher side for Lawrence, hyping him up, and it's a strikeout. And that's huge for Lindenmuth as it ends the top of the 7th before Lawrence could be within 1. Although the Firebirds allowed 2 runs, they're still up to 6-4 as we enter the bottom of the 7th.
Courtesy of Culver's. See a member of the Carthage College athletic staff after the game for your free coupon.
Ari Smoller Eisenberg still in at pitcher for Lawrence, number 16. The freshman out of Palo Alto, California. This game is 6-4. Carthage with a chance to regain their 4-run lead that they had heading into the 7th inning. It was minimized by Taylor Freeman's single into center field, resulting in a 2 RBI play where Hartlab and Depew scored. Kick us off in the bottom of the 7th will be number 12, Matt Felber.
Leading off for the Firebirds, third baseman number 12.
Last time we saw Matt Felber, he was struck out. Struck out by Ari Smoller-Eisenberg, who had back-to-back strikeouts against Felber and Christian Duarte in the bottom of the 6th when he came in for Josh Musi, who pitched 41 times and was a duration of 2 innings. He got 2 strikeouts as well in his time on the mound. 1 ball and 1 strike is the count. Felber, swing and a miss. Strike 2. Comes the pitch from Smoller-Eisenberg, and it's strike 3. A couple ducks fly over Augie Schmidt Field. 2 trips at bat for Matt Felber, 2 strikeouts. And AJ Gesa graces us all with his presence for the first time today. Gesa on the season, a batting average of .171. Making his 27th appearance. 12 runs off 12 hits. He's got 3 doubles on the season. 6 RBI, 15 total bases. Gesa pop fly. It's going to be in left field. It'll be caught by Sage BB Jetty.
Now batting for the Firebirds, left fielder number 7, Drew Connect.
Number 7, Drew Connect, graduate out of Kenosha Bradford High School. Up to bat. Smoller-Eisenberg goes outside on that first pitch. Drew Connect fouls that one off. Goes behind Carthage's dugout on the right side. Pitch outside again, 2 balls and 1 strike. Today for Connect, 1 hit, 1 run, 1 walk. Drew Connect, base hit for the Firebirds. Tried to lunge over to second, however, he thought twice about that decision. Now let's just take the single. Evan Devine up to bat for the Firebirds.
Second baseman number 4, Evan Devine.
Evan Devine making his 17th appearance on the season in today's game. 8 runs off 9 hits. He's recorded 4 doubles and 5 RBI. Devine trying to line that up. Knows he had it. Frustrating situation. Takes a moment to regather his thoughts. Drew Connect trying to steal second. And he's safe. is safe, making the transition from first to second base. Kevin Devine. Count is against him. 0-2 with 2 outs posted. All right, smaller Eisenberg. Pitch down the middle. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. And that'll end the bottom half of the 7th. Ari Smoller Eisenberg doing some things for the Vikings. Might have been the spark they needed. As through 7, Carthage remains the leader in the contest. 6 runs to 4 runs.
The full moon shining bright. Edge of the water, we were feeling alright. Back down a country road, the girls are always hot and the beer is ice cold. Woo! Bring 'em out, bring 'em out, bring 'em out, bring 'em out. It's hard to yell when the
New pitcher in for the Firebirds, number 22, Jake Papagayo. ERA of 2.73. He's pitched 33 innings total on the season, allowing 26 hits, 13 runs, 10 of them earned. Walking 14 batters and striking out 39, which is 3rd most on the team. Roy Sham leads the way with 83 strikeouts, followed by Ryan Scanlon with 45. Then comes Jake Papagayo with 39. Getting into this one, Wyatt Midori has passed Jake Papagayo as he had 9 strikeouts today, so they'll put him at 44. Jake Papagayo looking to give Carthage a fresh arm in the pitching department.
Now pitching for the Firebirds, number 22.
This has been a really close game. Carthage pulled away at one point, 6-2, and then Lawrence was able to get 2 runs on the board in the top of the 7th. But Lawrence is not going to go down without a fight.
And leading off for the Vikings, right fielder number 12, Eden Perez.
Eden Perez up to bat. Perez today has been struck out twice. Papagayo down the middle for strike 1. Yesterday's contest against Parkside, Jake Papagayo pitched 1 inning. Swing and a miss for Perez. In that 1 inning, Jake Papagayo only allowing 1 hit. No runs, no walks, no strikeouts. Through 14 pitches, faced 4 batters. Perez, deep drive in the right field, and that is through for a single.
Now batting for the Vikings, center fielder number 5, Shane Santega.
Number 5, Shane Santega. Up to bat for Lawrence after that single in the right from Perez. One ball to open up the count. Papagayo checking his stance. There's the pitch, swing and a miss from Santega. And Ian Perez over at first, next to PJ Moser, a few feet away from him. Looking to get that lead towards second. Papagayo. Gase has to go away from the strike zone to collect the ball. Duarte being subbed out of that catcher spot for AJ Gesa. Papagayo. Leads to a 3-ball-and-1-strike count. There's the pitch for Papagayo. It's fouled off by Santega. It'll be a full 3-2 count between Shane Santega and Jake Papagayo. Down the middle, but too low. And that's a walk for Shane Santega. Gesa, Papagayo, Callahan, Felber. Assistant coaches are out there having a discussion with one another after that walk forced from Shane Santega. And then moved Eden Perez over to second. So 2 base runners on tap for Lawrence, who are trying to take the lead in the top of the 8th. So they have not had a lead since the top of the 3rd. Before Carthage tied it up with 2 runs, courtesy of PJ Moser with a 2 RBI single to score Jimmy Herget and Colin Callahan. Carthage will talk things over here and see if they want to keep Jake Papagayo in there. Papagayo will stay in there for the Firebirds.
Now batting for the Vikings, number 4, Nick Purdy.
Number 4, Nick Hurdy, up to bat, the senior out of Frankfort, Illinois. Lincoln Way East High School graduate. First time he is in the right-hander's batter box. Nick Hurdy on the season and a batting average of 200. Making his 14th appearance in 30 at-bats, 2 runs off 6 hits. He's hit 2 doubles. 8 total bases on the season. Showing bunt. It's successful. Papagayo's going to have to do the fielder's choice. And he gets Nick Hurdy out.
Now batting for the Vikings,
The bunt successful as Shane Santega and Eden Perez both reach on that fielder's choice. But the sacrifice bunt was successful. It's number 7, Nolan Zarowski up to bat, and Lawrence is threatening here. Swing and a miss from Zarowski. And Lawrence was in a situation before where they had 3 base runners on tap. We're not able to get runs to get more momentum in this game. Scored 2 in the first and 2 in the 7th. Strike 2 delivered from Papagayo. Looking to shut the door on Nolan Zorowski, the sophomore out of Shorewood, Illinois. Manuka High School graduate. Down the middle, strike 3 for Jake Papagayo.
Now batting the Vikings, third baseman number 8, Nathan Depew.
Now 2 outs on the board. All Carthage needs is 1 put out here, or fly out, or ground out, whichever one, to end the top of the 8th. Swing and a miss from Nathan Depew. Papagayo down the middle for strike 2. And Depew has the count against him. Huge spot for Jake Papagayo. Down the middle, swing and a miss. Oh my goodness, you are kidding. Wow, and 2 base runners left for Lawrence, and yeah, that's one of those opportunities where you need to capitalize, and unfortunately for them, Carthage very efficient in the pitching department. Jake Papagayo coming up huge, 2 straight strikeouts to end the top of the 8th, and Carthage remains on top 6-4 as we transition to the bottom half of the current inning. 6 runs, 8 hits, 1 error for Carthage, 4 runs, 8 hits, and no errors for Lawrence. As we're about to get things kicked off for the bottom of the 8th inning, Ari Smaller Eisenberg so far. 2 innings pitched, 35 pitches thrown, allowing 2 hits, 1 run, no walks, 4 strikeouts, and 9 batters faced. So has a better strikeout to batters faced ratio than both Josh Boozy and Julius Christensen. So he's definitely helped Lawrence in that department. That's where they needed help, but you know, their batting has not been as efficient as it was prior. It brings on Jimmy Herget to start things out for Carthage, and Jimmy Herget has had himself a great day. 2 for 2, 2 runs, 1 RBI. He's got 1 walk, and he's stolen a couple bases as well. Carthage with a prime opportunity to add more runs here. Herget fouls that one. Oh, and 1 is the count between Smoller Eisenberg and Jimmy Herget. Smoller Eisenberg outside of the strike zone that time. 1 ball and 1 strike. A reminder that Carthage's next contest will be this Saturday against Augustana in a doubleheader here at Augie Schmidt Field. We'll start at 12 p.m. Both of the games live on Carthage Athletics. And Carthage wraps up on Sunday, April 27th against Augustana. That's strike 3, and Jimmy Herget goes back to the dugout. That'll be an important series for Carthage to keep their CCIW winning percentage top-notch as they try to edge out Illinois Wesleyan in the standings before they inevitably face each other off. And the first game of that series will be on Friday, May 2nd, which will be Carthage's senior day for baseball. I don't want to miss that one in particular. Callahan driving to left field. That's in fair territory. He might actually get a double off of this one, and he will. Great double from Colin Callahan. Reestablishing his team's momentum.
Number 19, Max Cairo.
Once Callahan gets going, he's hard to stop. Cairo, swing and a miss. Oh, and 1 is the count. That pitch evens it 1-1 with Callahan over at second by virtue of his hit to deep left center. As Sage BB Jenny was in the vicinity, however, he was not able to track where the ball was exactly going to go. Smoller Eisenberg slots it in for strike 2. Comes the pitch. Lost in transition by Nick Hurdy. Two balls and 2 strikes between Max Cairo and Ari Smoller Eisenberg. There's the pitch. That's ball 3. Callahan's got to get to second, and he does. It's a full count. This is a big spot for Lawrence. You need to just shut down Carthage as quickly as possible if you're the Vikings. Carthage, don't let Lawrence get this advantage. Oh, and it's ruled strike 3. Brutal for Cairo. He thought he had a walk. Number 28, PJ Moser up to bat. Responsible for keeping Carthage in this game earlier on in the contest. He's 1 of 4 today, 2 RBI, and 1 stolen base. He's been on base quite a bit today. Moser Launching that one deep right field. And it's caught by Eden Perez. And that ends the bottom of the eighth.
At the end of the eighth inning.
And we're going to the top of the ninth, where Lawrence has the opportunity to either tie this up or take a lead. And on comes Jay Cartman Jr., Carthage's main closer. Jay Cartman Jr. on the season, an ERA of .60.
Now pitching for the Firebirds, number 34, Jake Cartman Jr.
15 innings pitched, allowing 9 hits, 1 run. That one earned, walking 5 and striking out 28. And Hartman Jr. is used to being in this closer spot for Carthage. And in a couple games, he's done well in closing them. Exhibit A, most recently, would be the game against Carroll here at Augie Schmidt Field. That was back in early April. April 6th to be exact, and another example of that would be against Elmhurst on April 16th. Carthage will lean on Jay Cartman Jr. to put this one on ice. However, against Lawrence, they are a sneaky good team in the batting department. However, need to take advantage of them not being able to generate some consistency as they have not gotten as many runs as they have wanted within these last few innings. So you gotta make sure you adjust to their aggressive play style that they might have in this top of the ninth, because they know at this point it's do or die. Again, within history between Carthage and Lawrence, Carthage has not beaten Lawrence.
Leading off for the Vikings, shortstop number 3, Tate Hartlab.
And to begin the top of the ninth will be number 3, Tate Hartlab. Hartlab today 1 of 4 with 1 run and suffered 1 strikeout. Hartman Jr. slots it in for strike 1. Slots it in for strike 2. Against Tate Hartlab, the sophomore. Okay, Cartman laser focused. Here comes the pitch. Fouled off. Jake Hartman Jr. played in 1 inning against Parkside yesterday in that closer spot, allowing 1 hit, walking 1, and striking out 3. Case has to slide away. That's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Comes the pitch from Hartman, swing and a miss. And that's the first strikeout of the day for Jay Cartman Jr.
Now batting with the Vikings, left fielder number 27, Sage B.B. Jenny.
Number 27, Sage BB Jenny. Coming up to bat, the freshman out of Portsmouth, New Hampshire, excuse me. Berwick Academy graduate. Hartman Jr. down the middle, man. What a laser of a throw. Second pitch, that one's fouled off by BB Jenny. And today for BB Jenny, 2 at-bats, 1 run, 1 walk. That run of his scored courtesy of CJ Filipic, who had that 2-run homer to kick things off in the top of the first. Jake Hartman Jr. still locked in. Strike 3 again. 2 straight for Jake Hartman.
Now batting for the Vikings, second baseman number 13, Taylor Freeman.
And it brings on Taylor Freeman, the leader in batting average for Lawrence, heading into today's contest with .448. Freeman swings on that one. Callahan to Moser. And that is the ball game, ladies and gentlemen. A 6-3 putout to end it. 2 straight strikeouts prior from Jake Hartman Jr. and Carthage on top, 6-4. They advance to 24-8 on the season. The CCIW record obviously stays at 10-3. And Carthage will look forward to Augustana this weekend for a 3-game series. All of the games taking place at Augie Schmidt Field. Saturday, April 26th, starting at 12 p.m. will be the doubleheader, and Sunday, April 27th will be the 12 p.m. matchup that will be the closer of the series. That'll be just one singular game. As we look at the upcoming broadcast once again, talked about the baseball doubleheader and the single game against Augustana this weekend. Men's lacrosse versus Augustana at 1 p.m. on Saturday, April 26th, as well as softball versus Milliken. That'll be a doubleheader. Also on Sunday, April 27th, will be a softball doubleheader versus Illinois Wesleyan. Finally, Monday, April 28th, Carthage baseball will play once more here at Augie Schmidt Field, 3 p.m. But that is all for us today on the Carthage Athletics broadcast for baseball. I have been Andrew Czysz Jr. Pleased to be joining you all on the broadcast for this Carthage 24-8 on the season. We'll see you this weekend for the series against Augustana. Have a great rest of the evening.